Hey guys, so I just decided to do an update video like this because it's so much easier than me trying to play a game while updating you guys on everything what's going on, because it's hard to know what's going on exactly. And I've been meaning to do this as a little update, not just for YouTube channel but also the blog, which, by the way, if you don't follow the blog you probably should. Like, I don't even care if it's not like an actual follow and you just sort of check up on it, because I answer tons of questions every day, like not just on the blog, just people privately and stuff, and to say the least it takes a lot of energy. So, but I'm so sorry, I just had something in my eye. Ooh. I should probably edit that out, but quite frankly I'm not in the mood to edit. There's several things I want to talk about, I guess, and some of it's related to the blog, some of it's personal life stuff, but I guess I just need to get it out. And I've tried several times on doing Arena Assault thing, and I did Arena Assault before this, and then freaking Armored Boots screwed me up because I didn't realise that if you get sung while you start with the Movement Plus, you still keep it, but whatever, I can't really help it now, so but the first thing I guess I should say is I think some people noticed I haven't been on the blog as much, and mainly been on towards like an hour a day, and that was mainly because I was struggling really hard with the job application thing. And by the way, I did a whole update video and then the moment I went to post it, it completely changed the situation. So don't worry, it's now for the better. Basically there was a job I really wanted to do, essentially, and it was only like a few hours every day, but it was consistent and pretty good pay, but it still wouldn't have been a proper job. And luckily for me, despite that job becoming so hard to actually get a single reference for, I managed to score an apprenticeship, which is like amazing. I won't go into too much detail about what apprenticeships are and that, but if you're like in America or something, basically know they're pretty much like your internships but a bit different. Like, you essentially get paid to learn, but you're getting paid to learn a specific job essentially, and it's in like advertising and marketing, so it's pretty decent. Like, it's something I was a bit interested in, and it's got social media aspects, so in some ways having this blog and this YouTube channel on the side is like, it's actually helped me secure something. So to everyone who follows the blog and that, thank you, because I really probably wouldn't actually have this job without you. Like, the fact that I mention this blog in interviews it's something. And like, I do mention my personal as well, because that's got way more followers than my Heroes blog. But no, it's something I'm proud of, and I can't thank you guys enough, even if sometimes I get a bit of a headache from answering tons of questions. Like the other night, I think I just actually caved because I couldn't keep up. But yeah, so I guess that's the job stuff out of the way. It does also mean though, however, I will be working a lot more now. Like, I think my hours are, well, they're like 9 till 6 roughly. That's the time I'm probably not going to be on my blog. Like, I might be on for an hour on my lunch break, but that will probably be spent playing Pokemon Go, because now being back in the city centre, I'll be able to play that more. So, although then again, Pokemon Go is kind of dead for me. Like, I've nearly caught all the home-end Pokemon anyway, so fun times. But no, so it's like, I can keep the blog going. I might not just be on as much, because obviously I have to go to bed early. I can't stay up until 3 o'clock. Things like the trailers and that, I might not be able to do instant analysis on. I might see if I can like sometimes stay awake, or if there was a big one I could probably book a day off for holiday. But on top of that, there's just other things in real life which I need to prioritise over the blog. That's what I'm essentially saying. So if I'm not on for a day, please don't freak out. Please don't resend your question like 20 times, because it's it's not so much that it's daunting, but like yesterday, for example, I came home and there was an inbox of around 60 messages, and about 20 of those were people re-asking their question because they saw the queued post which went up. And yeah, like, it's a queued post. I know I've said it a couple of times. I don't actually have a tag for it because it affects both blogs, but normally I post, well, there's one which is queued to go up at 10 o'clock every day, like in the morning for me. Which, by the way, I live in the UK, so it's all GMT time, so that's the best way to analyse it. So I think for America that's like 8 hours behind or something. But essentially it goes up automatically. I have no control over that. I just add them to the queue. A couple of people asked if I could queue questions, but I don't queue questions for this reason. Um, Mainly because if I do, then I feel like people think I'm actually answering a question, and then they get upset if I don't answer it. Which I will answer everyone's question, unless it's something I actually can't help you with. Where I've had, for example, people ask me, like, make me a team, but they don't provide any units. I can't make a team out of that. And to be fair, anyway, the idea of the blog is not for me to just give you the answers. It's so you learn how to recognize what's good. So, for example, I kind of experimented with the Takumi to see what people would say, and I didn't actually get any feedback. I think I only got one person who actually gave tips for the Bound Hero battle. Not Bound Hero, Grand Hero. Now I'm getting the two confused. But no, I only had one person who actually did that. And I saw a comment about someone being surprised I put Snake Edge over Brave Bow, and I was kind of like, to be honest, I'm like, you can use Brave Bow on Takumi, but I think having him as a bow counter is a better bet in this meta right now. And if you're going to Brave Bow either of the Takumis, you do normal Takumi. So, but either way though, it was kind of experimenting. People have asked me about getting another admin as well, and I'm kind of mixed on it because having another admin, it's not so much like splitting the work, it's mainly a difference of opinions. And it's not that I'm saying I'm not willing to talk about opinions, it's basically, if I was to say, oh, this is good on someone, and then they said, actually, no, it's not, it obviously gives off two very contradicting answers. So, it's hard to say if I would or not. Like, for now, I think I'm okay without, but I might, let's say, get another admin if I needed someone to post videos or something, like, of when the new banner drops or whatever. But even then, I quite frankly have a very good picture in my mind of who I would pick out of the people who interact with me in the Fire Emblem community straight away. I'd be like, hey, do you want to be an admin? And quite frankly, I don't even talk to them personally, so, although that person could talk to me personally, no. Which, by the way, talking to me personally, you can always talk to me personally on Casterform. It's a lot easier. You can talk to me on my Twitter as well. Like, it's nice. It's been nice knowing, or getting to know the people who play Fire Emblem. I will admit, it's more fun to talk about stuff which isn't Fire Emblem on the personal blog. Like, I do like non-Fire Emblem stuff as well. Also, I'm sorry, my nose is really itchy. But hey, if you want to talk about Fire Emblem, that's cool, but please don't spam me with Fire Emblem asks, or like asking me how to raise your units on the non-Fire Emblem Heroes blog, because I kind of feel like I'm just being taken advantage of. And I'm a bit like, I don't know, and I guess that kind of brings me into the next topic, which is basically how I feel like I'm treated. Like, this isn't so much with YouTube, because YouTube, I feel like people just, they don't actually know I have a blog. So, it's mainly been things like, just being treated like I feel like I'm a human being. And this isn't just with the blog as well, it's like in real life with people and everyone I talk to. There's a kind of stigma, I feel, where people just like me because I do stuff for them. And I know there's that argument where people could say, well, don't do stuff for them. But I physically can't bring myself to do that because it's just the kind of person I am. And I do look out for myself quite a bit. Like, I do things based on my own wants and needs, and I probably shouldn't sometimes. But then there's other times where I feel like somebody should do that for me, and they don't. And it's a little bit depressing. Like, I'm not gonna lie. And I've had it with friend groups and stuff where, for example, that they want me to be friends with people again, and I'm like, quite frankly, they didn't really do anything for me. And when eventually I did break it off, I broke it off because of those reasons, and I can't keep getting myself hurt, is basically what I'm saying. And the Heroes blog almost feels like it goes that way sometimes. Like, I'm not saying this with the anonymous people, because you can't grab that from when people ask stuff anonymously. But for example, like one user might ask me questions and they might ask like 7 of them and they just demand the answers, but sometimes they get a bit annoyed if I don't respond and send me a bit of a, I don't want to say mean message, but it's almost like sarcastically mean. And I'm a bit like, well, if I'm not there to answer, there is always Google. But no, I'm not saying I don't mind answering questions, because I love answering the questions. It's nice to feel wanted as well, like, and I know that's a bit of a double-edged sword saying that, but it is nice to feel wanted. I think everyone can agree with that. But I don't know, I kind of wish sometimes I wasn't just seen as, oh, you're a guide set or something. Or the other problem I had was when somebody asked me specifically about somebody else's guide, and I was like, that's not my job. Like, I made a guide and I posted it, and you completely ignored that to then either ask me the exact same guide set or ask somebody else's, and I'm a bit like, no. But hey, I've expected that over the internet over the past, what, how long have I had social media? About 6 years, maybe more, 7. I want to say it was like 2011 I got Tumblr, I can't remember now. I don't know. I honestly, it's been too long. I just remember arguments about chocolate birds, but um, but yeah. So mental health in general, though, it's just like anyone who doesn't know, I'm depressed and I have things like Asperger's, so it's hard for me to begin with anyway. And I do cope quite well, but please understand, guys, that sometimes I just need a break from it all. So if I'm not on for a day, please don't stress. And obviously, again, that applies more to the blog, not to YouTube so much, but it might do soon, because the next thing is games, which, like, I've been wanting to Let's Play games ever since I was younger, and I wanted to do Emerald and stuff, and I was always too chicken to post them, and basically, I'm at a point now, I'm just like, just do it. And I know someone's going to meme, but I am just going to do it. The main games I'm thinking of Let's Playing are Sacred Stones, because from what I gathered from the Fire Emblem blog, most people want to see Sacred Stones played. And I'm kind of debating how I'm going to do it, like if I just do the Erica route, the Ephraim route, or if I kind of do like a split game, so I do both routes and then do each one, and then when they rejoin just pick the account I prefer more. Because I can't remember if it actually has any influence on the rest of the game. I think it does, but it doesn't, it's just like the characters. Then there's this gem of a game. I'm holding it the wrong way, and now it's being covered by light. Kai, learn how to hold stuff. There we go. Beautiful Bayonetta. Obviously, it's a bit more older game, but well, you can probably guess by the poster in the background. But I do love me some Bayonetta. I have been playing it on my own, but I am tempted to do a Let's Play of it as well if people would be interested. Like maybe not a perfect Let's Play, but just like a casual one, like. Every day I come home from work, I record a chapter, put it up, and then we see how it goes. Which I might record a chapter after this, actually. I'm kind of in the mood to now. Or Pokemon Emerald as well, or any Pokemon game I was kind of considering doing. But if you want to see me Let's Play games on YouTube and stuff, like, obviously let me know, because I would be interested. Like, I've tried Twitch, and I just find it hard to keep active with an audience. Like, I can do it, but I would much rather just do stuff in my own time, if that makes sense. And especially being in the UK, I'm not in the ideal place to stream, so... But that's not to say streaming won't ever come back, so... but yeah, that pretty much covers games. Looking at my list of other things, the guides, I'm pretty sure I talked about that, like I said, like, they might come out a little bit later, but I normally try and make sure new guides are up, and that's why I got all the guides done and out of the way. So we now have a fresh page of them. But no, I think that is generally everything I wanted to talk about. I guess as well, like, I was going to do a Q&A video, but I didn't actually get that many questions which were different. Of all things, or I can't tell if people actually just didn't put the pencil icon. But for those who were wanting their questions answered, 3 of them were anonymous, and there was one by a guy called, well, was it a guy or was it a girl? I don't actually know. They, their name's Enos. They put, what is your favourite thing about Heroes, and what is your favourite thing about the Fire Emblem franchise? My favourite thing about Heroes is probably the chibi sprites. of all the things it could be, the chibi sprites just give me strength, but I also do like seeing all the artwork and stuff, and it's introduced me to a lot of other artists and voice actors and things. And I don't know, it's the idea of community coming together, which I really like. And then the Fire Emblem franchise, this is going to sound really strange, but so I do love me RPGs and stuff, but the one thing I really hate about RPGs is the numbers, and this is coming from a guy who likes math, and I don't know, I like the Fire Emblem approach of it having smaller numbers, because why do you need the big numbers if it's going to be the exact same as another calculation with smaller numbers? Like, Fire Emblem is just so much easier to understand on a base level. Combine that with things like some of the characters and that, and the music, I just... it gets to me. Anonymous asks, besides Lucas, what are the main units you use? The main units I use are Tana, who obviously I've plus 10 now. Probably shouldn't have plus 10 2 blue units, but still, I love her so much. I love Sacred Stones, and I loved her in that game, so... Performing Arts Olivia and Normal Olivia are my main like go-to dancers. I'm working on plus 10ing Normal Olivia. I think she's plus 5 now. My Performing Arts Olivia is plus 7, so I'm hoping she comes on an 8% banner soon. Hopefully not the next one though. Please not the next one. Just don't include any Performing Arts units. Well, actually no, I've just realized... oh no, actually, they might include Sugar Ray. I could see that happening actually. Then there's Sonia, who is like my green merge at the moment. She's plus 8, so ideally... I know she won't be on the next legendary banner, but when she is, it'll be easy to plus 10her. Then there is Bowie, who I use quite a bit as a Grand Raven user. He's my main bow counter. Leon's my main bow user and also another bow counter. I always say Bridal Cordelia, but I'm never speaking to her again after that 700 plus orb summoning session, which I still feel cheated by. Then there is, I guess Pala as well. I'm starting to use a lot more now, and I just encountered her, so I'm hoping she's going to be good for me. But also because she's an easy plus 10 to get as well. And then, is that everyone? I think so, because most other units I kind of use in and out, so. Next question. Would you be excited for an update to the game where you can build a town, or do you think that would be a bad idea? I think it would be kind of cool, but I don't know if it would fit in with the structure they've already set up. Like, I love town building games, and I know that sounds strange from someone who hates avatar customization, but when I was a kid I always used to be building towns and stuff, but I don't know, it could be cool. I think you'd have to have some kind of merit to it. Like, you can kind of with the castle, but I don't know. I guess if you could, let's say, build headquarters, and let's say they gave, well, for certain buildings, if you resided certain heroes in them, the next day, in the first battle they fight in, they get an extra +1 to all their stats or something. And it's only in your game, kind of like the support system. I guess you could. But I would probably get more invested in, like, how they all talk to each other, to be honest, so... But no, I think it would be cool, but I just don't think it fits in with the Fire Emblem Heroes model they've currently got. It'd be kind of like forcing Animal Crossing to come into the game. So, but then finally, someone got asked, can insties do anything at this point that would truly stop Horse Emblem? I think they can, like... Well, they already have. I think the little trenches are more than good enough to stop Horse Emblem. But, I think the easiest thing would be, what do you call it? Either, well, I think they need to introduce skills which add effectiveness to weapons, if that makes sense. So, like a Horse Slayer skill or a Beast Slayer skill, which allows any unit to slay beast units, for example. Or, let's say, an Armor Slayer skill. So, you could have an Armor Slaying skill with another weapon, let's say. Or you can, let's say you had a Dragon Slaying skill, then you could make Micaiah, for example, into an Armor, Horse and Dragon Slaying killer machine. I don't know how to put that. Which I think definitely the Dragon one needs to be a thing. Like, even if it's something like Holy Blood or something. Like, I don't know, and some people might argue that it'd be broken, but if you made it take up something like the Beast lot, then it's a lot harder to say it's broken because the B slot is arguably the more important slot, or even the A slot, to be honest. Like, well, actually, yeah, I'd prefer the A slot because otherwise Reinhardt's going to become like. No, I'm still not over the fact he can get chill speed, which people don't get the fact why that's good because it's a support option. It's not benefiting him; it's benefiting everyone else. So. But yeah, I think that's the best way. I don't even think Horse Emblem's that good. I think if anything, the best team archetype at the moment is definitely Dragon Emblem, followed by Armor Emblem. So, well, maybe not actually not Armor Emblem, Fire Emblem, I would say, because they're kind of up there now. So, but yeah, I think definitely though, in general, we need like skills which add effectiveness to a unit rather than just the weapon. Because otherwise, it feels a bit. I don't know. It feels meh. Like. I feel bad. I see people running like Armor Smasher Olivia, and I'm like, please, like, she's not even gonna fight them. She'd probably get KO'd by Amelia. So, but anyway, guys, hopefully that keeps you updated on what I'm doing and stuff, and maybe you never know, you might see a Bayonetta episode tonight. But until next time, guys, I will see you soon. Bye.